Coming up on BearZone, who will the Cleveland Browns select with the #1 overall pick in this year's NFL Draft?
Also, the NBA playoffs have seen some surprises, but who has survived?
We also have an update on the UNC baseball team.
We've got all that and more this week on BearZone. Don't go anywhere. And with the first pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select. In just 2 hours, all the mock drafts and questions will be answered. Will it be Texas A&M defensive end Myles Garrett or North Carolina quarterback Mitchell Trubisky? Both players are possibles as the first overall pick. The Denver Broncos have the 20th overall pick. And who will they take? Possibles include offensive tackle Garrett Bowles from Utah, Western Kentucky guard Forrest Lamp, and former Stanford and Valor Christian High School star Christian McCaffrey. The draft starts today with the first round, while the second and third rounds come tomorrow. The 4th through 7th rounds start Saturday.
Who said the first round of the NBA playoffs couldn't be exciting and have some drama? The Cavaliers quickly ended the Pacers season with a 33-point game from LeBron James. The Cavs didn't give up even one game, sweeping the Pacers. The other 3 series in the Eastern Conference are a toss-up, as each team has won at least 2 games. The #1 seed Boston Celtics were expected to get past the 8th seed Chicago Bulls without a hiccup, but through the first 4 games, the series is tied 2-2. The Celtics dropped the first 2 games at home following the death of star point guard Isaiah Thomas's sister. The Celtics got on track in Chicago, taking both games to even the series. But before the game could end, tempers flared between Bulls guard Jimmy Butler and Celtics forward Marcus Smart. Butler wasn't happy with how tough Smart was acting and expressed it during his post-game interview.
He's a great actor, acting tough. That's what he does. But I don't think he's about that. And I just don't think I'm the wrong guy to get in my face. So he need to take it somewhere else because I'm not the one for that.
The series now shifts back to Boston for Game 5. The Western Conference is just as tight. Steph Curry sent the Trailblazers home, scoring a team-high 34 points. The MVP race isn't over, but the winner of the Rockets-Thunder series could swing some votes. James Harden and Russell Westbrook are the front-runners for the MVP award and haven't disappointed during the series. Westbrook has had 3 triple-doubles the last 3 games, while Harden averaged 34.6 points through the series. The Clippers-Jazz games have all been decided by 6 points or less, and even a buzzer beater by Utah forward Joe Johnson. Utah leads the series 3-2 going back to Utah for Game 6 on Friday. The first round ends Sunday night, getting us one step closer to crowning a new NBA champion.
4th best team in baseball is not a bad place to be after the first month of the season. With a record of 14-8, the Colorado Rockies sit in that 4th spot and atop the National League West. The Rockies are finishing out a 7-game homestand this afternoon against the best team in baseball, the Washington Nationals. But the homestand started with a history-making series against the San Francisco Giants. In Game 1 last Friday, Trevor Story knocked one out of the park in the 4th for the first grand slam of his career. 2 at-bats later, Charlie Blackmon knocked a 2-run homer, making the Rockies the first National League team to hit a grand slam, followed by a home run since 1950. The 6-run 4th gave the Rockies the 6-5 win over the Giants. Saturday continued the 4th inning home run streak for Blackmon and Story, who each had a solo shot propelling the Rockies to a 12-3 victory. Hometown hero Kyle Freeland hit the mound again Sunday and pitched a 7-inning shutout to lead the Rockies to the first series sweep of the Giants in 15 years. Monday, the Rockies started the 4-game series against the Nationals, and it looked promising. Although the Nationals hit for a collective cycle in the 4th, it wasn't enough to give them the win, which the Rockies took 8-4. Tuesday and Wednesday looked a little less promising, and the Nats walked away with both victories, 15-12 and 11-4 respectively. As of press time, the Rockies and Nationals are battling it out at Coors Field. They're in the bottom of the ninth with the Nationals on top, 16-2.
After a week away from conference action, the UNC baseball team got back into it over the weekend at New Mexico State. In Game 1 Friday night, Aggie starter Marcel Renteria stymied the Bears' bats. Renteria tossed 7 innings of 1-run ball, striking out 9. His efforts were enough as New Mexico State won 10-3. On to Game 2 Saturday now, where the Aggies once again found the win column. A 3-run six for New Mexico State was the difference as they picked up a 7-4 win. Finally, in Game 3, the Bears looked to avoid the brooms, but the Aggies dusted UNC away. New Mexico State scored 5 first-inning runs and never looked back, winning 6-2. Despite the sweep, UNC catcher Alex Keel smoked 5 hits in the series. The Bears look to end their skid when Utah Valley visits the friendly confines of Jackson Field this weekend.
Bears softball earned its second Big Sky Series win and first Big Sky Series sweep when the North Dakota Fighting Hawks visited Greeley over the weekend. Friday's first game was cold and windy, and the Bears didn't want much to do with that. In the bottom of the first, the Bears came out firing, scoring 9 unearned runs off 5 errors and 4 hits. Then the Bears earned another 5 runs in the second off 3 walks and 4 hits. Pitcher Jamie Redicliffe kept North Dakota's bats quiet, allowing just 3 hits and 1 run in the Bears' 16-1 5-inning victory. In the second game, Cheyenne Talmadge got things started for the Bears in the second when she scored on a wild pitch. North Dakota tied things up at 1 in the third, and the game went into extra innings. In the bottom of the 8th, Rachel Johnson knocked a walk-off RBI double to win the game 2-1. Saturday was another close game. Pitcher Jamie Redicliffe hit the mound once again, this time allowing 8 hits and no runs. The lone run of the game was a Rachel Johnson homer in the 5th that sealed the Bears' 1-0 victory and the series sweep. Next up, the Bears head to California for a battle with the Hornets before heading home to take on the Idaho State Bengals in the last series of the season. After the break, Abigail has the forecast for the UNC baseball games this weekend. We'll be right back.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. If you haven't heard this weekend, the baseball game on Saturday has been canceled due to snowy weather. So here on the surface analysis, we see a low pressure system coming in within 24 hours that's going to stay here in Colorado, bringing us some snowy weather for the weekend. On Friday, we've got rain in the forecast with only a high of 50 degrees. No game Saturday, and Sunday's looking a lot nicer with clear skies and a high of 58 degrees. For the start of the game on Friday, it's going to be about 44 degrees with a 50% chance of rain, so you might want to bring that rain jacket with you if you plan on attending. On Sunday, game starts at 11, going to be about 46 degrees and clear skies. So if you're planning to stay active this summer and stay in shape, here are some recommendations to go hiking and biking. Definitely Estes Park's pretty good. Garden of the Gods, been there, very good, especially if maybe you're not super athletic like me. There's lots of places to drive and see some really cool rock formations. Horsetooth, personal favorite, and Manitou Incline, very steep terrain, very good if you want to stay in shape over the summer. You might want to bring a fly rod with you to any of these locations, and the scenery here is actually really great too, even if you're not much of a fisherman. If you do plan on picking up fishing this summer, do know that you do have to purchase a fishing license. Now, if you plan to be outside, know the hazards of lightning. Do not hike on the mountains in the afternoon, as the sun heats up warm air around the mountains and causes that air to rise and form thunderstorms by midday and almost like clockwork around noon. If you do find yourself on a mountain or surrounded by lightning, do not stand on elevated terrain. Try to get down that mountain as fast as you can. Never lie on flat ground, never stand under a lone tree, never seek shelter under a cliff, and stay away from bodies of water, fences, and umbrellas too can pose a hazard as they are made of metal. That's all for the summer forecast and things to do this summer and baseball this weekend. Have a great summer.
Thanks, Abigail. Hopefully the weather will cooperate this weekend for UNC. After the break, we will catch you up on the NHL playoffs. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. Well, teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
Boulder City, Nevada was the site of the last tournament for women's golf. The Big Sky tournament brought the Bears a 5th place overall finish, and 2 Bears finished in the top 20. True freshman Morgan Sam was the first of those finishers. In the final round Sunday, Sam completed the front 9 with 8 pars and 1 bogey, heading to the back 9 just 1 over. On the back, Sam finished with 5 pars, 3 bogeys, and a birdie on the 18th to finish out her freshman season. The other Bear in the top 20 was senior Baile Winslow. Winslow rounded out the tournament with a .230, just 1 stroke off a top 10 finish, after shooting 9 consecutive pars on the front 9. The tournament concluded the careers of seniors Baile Winslow, Kayla Keltz, and Jordan Sunset. The Bears are back in the fall to kick off the 2017-2018 season.
The women's tennis team said goodbye to 3 seniors in their regular season finale against Oral Roberts. Beth Coton, Courtney Schulte, and Marissa Baca ended their regular season careers on strong notes. Coton fought hard in her doubles loss, but bounced back at 3 singles, winning a 3-set thriller. Schulte ended her regular season with a 3-set loss, and Baca won her doubles match, the only duo to win. Despite the Bears falling 5-2 in the finale, the 3 seniors went out on top. Their regular season might be over, but the Bears get one last chance when they head to the Big Sky tournament in Phoenix, Arizona. They play Idaho State today.
As the NHL playoffs continue, the games are getting tougher and tougher. Tonight, the New York Rangers face the Ottawa Senators at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. This is their first matchup in the playoffs as the Senators defeated the Bruins 4-2 and the Rangers crushed the Montreal Canadiens with the same score. After the Penguins outplayed the Blue Jackets in just 5 games, they're moving on to round 2. The Pittsburgh Penguins face the Washington Capitals tonight at 7:30 for their first matchup in the playoffs as well. The Nashville Predators dominated the Blackhawks in just 4 games to move into round 2 to face off against the Blues, who beat the Wild in their first matchup. With the first round just as fast as the Predators, the Ducks stomped out the Flames with just 4 games to move on and face the Oilers, who smashed the Sharks in just 6 games. The Ducks face the Oilers for their second game in the round at 8:30 tomorrow night on NBC Sports.
ESPN is arguably the biggest entity in the world of sports broadcasting, but in this changing age, can it stay that way? Over the last several years, ESPN has lost more than 10 million subscribers. At the same time, the cost of broadcasting major sports like football and basketball continues to rise. 6 years ago, ESPN agreed to an 8-year, $15.2 billion deal with the NFL, a 9-year, $12 billion deal with the NBA, and a $7.3 billion deal for the college football playoffs. And that wasn't all. With rising programming costs and subscriber loss, ESPN found itself in financial decline with a need to save money. But because the channel is locked into long-term programming contracts, the cost cutting had to come from staff reduction. In October 2015, ESPN's first round of layoffs were aimed at 300 off-camera staff members. But last night's next round of layoffs, which took 100 on-air personalities off the payroll. Among the layoffs were several notables who took to Twitter. SportsCenter anchor Jay Crawford wrote, "After 14 wonderful years, my time at ESPN is over. From Cold Pizza to First Take to SportsCenter, I made more friends than I can name. Forever grateful." NFL analyst and former NFL quarterback Trent Dilfer was also among the layoffs. He wrote, "Laid off by ESPN today, although sad because I love my job, mostly filled with gratitude and appreciation for the 9 years. #great friends and teammates." And on the eve of the NFL draft, highly respected NFL analyst, Colorado native, and Northern Colorado grad Ed Werder also lost his job, but remains on the job market after writing, "After 17 years reporting on #NFL, I've been informed that I'm being laid off by ESPN effective immediately. I have no plans to retire." ESPN laid off many other talented reporters, analysts, and anchors. Colin Cowherd, who left ESPN in 2015, told Cleveland's 92.3 The Fan that layoffs at ESPN will continue annually for the next decade.
And that is our show for tonight. Be sure to stay up to date on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, Bear News 98. Make sure to like us and join us every week for BearZone, all sports, all the time for UNC athletics. Good night.